right. Here we are live for another Heart Center Marketing show. My name is Joey Ragona. Welcome. Just want to make sure everything is working here. And I just always, let me just see here, turn off. See here. I just want to make sure that the audio, there we go. I was getting like a double feedback on the audio. Welcome to the show. Once again, my name is Joey Ragona. We are here for the part 7 of a 7-part series, right? The last part, this is one of my favorite things to talk about today. We are going to talk about the real reason. Let me go back to my notes here to make sure. This is one of my favorite things to talk about today. We're going to talk, I did have the real reason. To go back to up here. Cool. All right. So your dream clients, wherever they are not hiring you to do the thing that you think that they do. And this is what you're going to understand today after we go through this. It's basically they're hiring you for the relief that the thing this creates in their lives. That surface level problem that we've been talking about for the last 6 weeks. They're hiring you for the relief that the crisis, the oasis, which is where they want to go. They want to solve the things. They've got problems. They've got desires. They've got pains in their life. And if you miss this one thing, you'll just be competing on features. That's what a whole bunch of us do. Competing on features, competing on price. And if you nail this, and you will have zero competition. So I want to make sure, if I can see here, my iPad, or sorry, my phone is going to allow me to see zero competition. Cool. I want to make sure. All right. Hey, Collie, you're already on top of the JTBD. Thank you for being here live. And I want to, hey, Collie, you're already on top. Just turn down my volume. And I can see, it looks like I can see on my phone now, the comments coming in from Facebook. So that's cool. I want to be able to see all of the comments. If you're here, live, let me know with a hashtag live or a hashtag from play. I've got everybody here on the Instagrams here. Man, there's so many things to just monitor all the way across here, but live, let me know. All kinds of fun here. What we're talking about here is the Dream Client Canvas. This is what I've been talking about for the last 6 weeks. And if you message me, just like Collie did already, you will get the entire series in the Google Doc with all the stuff that we've been talking about and all the cool templates and all that things that we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks. But I just want to run through this really quick as an overview, because this is first of all, let's go back to this guy up here. Okay, this is the area that we're going to be working on, the jobs to be done. This is one of the most important things, and it's also one of the hardest things to wrap your head around, because it's really not a job as we in the context of what a job is, right? And you're going to see this, and as soon as it clicks, it's going to make so much more sense to you. And this is the secret of how I've been able to position. And you're going to see this since I started business, right, way back in 1986 or whatever. Now I'm dating myself, but understanding what the real job is, but I didn't know what jobs to be done was until about a decade ago or something like that, and started to really employ it and to start teaching it about 5 years ago. So the crisis here, let's go back to this. The crisis, right, is where they're at now. This is where they're at now. Okay. And it's their situation. It's what's going on in their life and situation. And they just want to get out of that situation. And then here is where they desire, right? I shouldn't use the word desire because it's already up here. It's over here. This is the new life they want. Okay. And all of this, the problems, we talk about the problems here. The problem is what they talk about is, I can't do any marketing better, or I'm not making any sales, or whatever it is that you do. They're talking about the problem. And then there's a deeper pain. And I won't go over this again because you can go back and watch the previous episodes, but there's a deeper pain that is caused by the problem. And then they have a deep desire. Oops, that should be actually green. Let's change that up. They have a deep desire to do something more, to be something more. It's what they truly, truly want. And then when you combine, well, I actually use green. You combine the crisis with the oasis, with the problems, the pains, and the desires, you get the value promise. Okay? And the value promise is completely related to the job to be done. These are related. And a lot of times, and including myself, I'm not pointing any fingers here, we are talking about marketing job to be problems, marketing messages. And it lives, a lot of that stuff lives in this value promise area. But there's that missing piece. The missing piece is up here, which is what I'm going to talk about today. Because the job, this is what a good job sounds like. This is how you know you have a good job. The job is stated as a relief, a progress, or a freedom, not as a service. So, in other words, if I was a marketing agency, I'm not marketing, I'm not promoting my marketing agency. It's about the freedom, the progress, the relief, all of that stuff. That's what we're really focusing on when we're talking about jobs. Okay. It also connects to social outcomes. So let me actually write these down. A good job equals relief, progress, and or freedom. Okay? It's not a service. It's not a service. It also connects emotionally. Connects emotionally. I know on the Instagrams it sucks because you can only see a certain little portion of this. I apologize for that. And social outcomes. Social. It explains why they choose you over doing nothing. Because this here, right, doing nothing is actually a choice. When you do nothing, when your client doesn't do anything, they're just willing to stay inside of the crisis, right over here. If they're willing to stay in this crisis, they're doing nothing. And that's a choice, actually. You don't want them to be there. So this is what I want you to understand, is that it's not the thing that what we do is the job. Like the thing that we do is not the job. The way the job works, what the real relief that we're giving in their life. Does that make sense? So it's not the thing that we do that is the job. The way the job works is what the relief is in their life. And I'll give you an example of this because this is one of my favorite examples, which is the leaking job works. The leaking roof. This is the wrong thinking that I hire a roofer to fix my roof to patch the hole. Like that's what we think the job is. But that's not the job. So the job's to be done thinking, because this is where it's coming from. I hire a roofer to fix my roof, patch the hole, bringing it to your attention. If you've never heard of this before, by the way, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, let me know in the chat because I do see them. And I'd love to have a conversation with you about this. You've never heard of this. But like I said, you don't hire a roof, someone to fix your roof to patch the hole. What you're doing is you're hiring the roofer to keep your living room dry so you can watch movies and not worry when it rains. That's what the real job is. Okay? So let me go a little bit further on this. So you can watch the real job when it rains. And why this matters to you is that the peace of mind for home and comfort. It's not home repair, not roof repair, right? The context matters. It's family time. It's relaxation. It's worry-free living. Home repair. When my roof no longer leaks, just like I just had my garage door, it's fixed because the spring broke and everything else, and it was very inconvenient. Right? We had to go out different ways, and we couldn't use that. We couldn't park the car inside, or if it was inside, we couldn't get it out unless we lifted it up. Like, you know what I mean? It's very inconvenient. So there's a progress focus, ability to enjoy life without home-related stress. And that goes back to my example of hiring a roofer to patch the hole. So there's three types of jobs. Now, I'll get back into this so I can write them down for you. There's three types of jobs. It's the functional one. Functional is the practical task, okay? The practical task. What they're literally trying to accomplish. And I'm going to give you some concrete examples here. So example would be, I need to go from A to B. That's the functional job, right? The emotional job, and I'm going to go into a little bit deeper examples for you so you can get this. The emotional job. An important one. How do they want to feel or avoid feeling? And this is the emotional outcome. Example, I want to feel confident and professional. Right? So that's an emotional feeling. The last job is a social job. And this is how they want to be perceived by others. And it's where, like, it's a social identity almost. It's like a social identity. An example, I want to be seen as organized, as an organized professional who makes smart decisions. Right? You get it? So that's what they want to be seen. Hey, Glenn, good to see you, my friend. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm glad that you are here live as well, my friend. All right, so those are the three jobs, right? The functional, the emotional, and the social. So let me teach the pattern to you. That's another template that you could use for this. All right. Here's another template. So we'll use a different color. Let's go back to blue. So when, and then I'll use pink for this. Situation in their life. Back to blue. I hire you to the relief or progress. I'll give you examples with this framework as well in place. So I can, how life gets better. Okay, so let me give you some examples from this using this framework. So let's say you're a marketing coach. The marketing coach, what they think they do is I teach people how to create content and marketing strategies. The real job that a marketing coach does, or one of them might be, well, when I'm overwhelmed by all the marketing tactics out there, I hire you to help me see which simple moves actually matter for my specific situation so I can stop second guessing myself and start making progress without burning out. That's what the client would be, thinking in the general sense to the marketing for a marketing coach, right? It's a completely different way of looking at what they're doing because they're going from selling a marketing strategy to selling clarity and confidence in a noisy market. See, that makes sense? Completely different thing. Let me give you another one. I'll give you 3 of them. The program builder. Let's say you're an online program builder. What they think they do is I help people create and launch group programs. Well, the real job is when I build something that nobody's buying and I'm losing confidence, I hire you to show me how to connect with the right people before I build so I can stop wasting time on a program that does not sell and finally feel like I know what I'm doing. This is part of what I do in Atlas. I've been doing that for 5 years. So I'm helping people take their knowledge and not just give them another marketing tactic or another funnel or anything like that. It's more about, hey, let me rebuild your confidence because I'll show you how to connect with dream clients and even raise your prices to make more money and give you back your time so that you can now have a program that actually sells without wasting time building more funnels, more sales pages, more whatever, and you have the confidence back that you actually do know what you're talking about. Because almost everybody that comes to me has lost a little bit of their confidence, if not a lot of their confidence, because it's not working for them. And at least that's how I felt when I was doing all these funnels and listening to everybody else. I was like, man, I know what I'm talking about here. It's like, what am I missing? Anyway, let me get back to this. What changes is from selling a program creation or funnel or whatever to selling confidence and validation before you invest the time, right? That's what the job is. I'll give you one more example. Me, the coach, right? So what people think I do is help coaches clarify their dream clients and marketing message. And well, one of the reasons they think that is because I used to say that. This is what I help you do, but that's not really what I do. People would look at me and say, well, when I'm stuck trying to explain what I do, and it's costing me clients, I hire you to help me articulate my value in a way that makes people say, I need you. I need that. So I can finally stop feeling invisible and start attracting the right clients who are ready to work with me. You see, now what changes there is selling message clarity, because everybody's selling that, to selling being seen, understood, and chosen by the right people. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So when I get DM'd all these times almost every day from somebody who wants to help market messages and all these things and reach out and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't need that. Like, people come to me and all they have to do is show up in the world as I am, with my message, with my values and all the superpowers that I have, revealing everything about me that is just who I am, and that attracts the right people into my world without me having to do anything else and worry about messaging, because I'm just repeating back to what people actually want, because I've gone through this whole framework that I'm showing you in the last 7 weeks. Okay, so that's really what it is. So you currently say you do, that's your service, right? The situation and context, let me go back to here, right? So this is it. Let me clear that page just so it's nice and clean for you to see. The job to be done is up here. And if you have a question about the job to be done, I'd love to know. If you're following this, or you are want a little bit more clarity, have a question about it. So the question that you want to be asking yourself is, what were they doing before they found me? What triggers them to start looking? And that is where you start the conversation. The why behind the why. Keep asking, so that what? So when people are telling you, you're in conversations, and hopefully you're in conversation, not pitch conversations, but actual detective type of conversations, where it's like, what's going on? You're in conversation. Well, I need to make more sales. So that what happens? And then the more you ask that, so that what happens, or so that what, they will get to the real job. They will get to, eventually, because I want to spend time with my family, or I don't want to be fuddling around with technology and funnels and all that. I just want to show up and serve. Like pretty much all of my clients will tell you that. Like, what's the real fuddling around? Like, if I could wave a magic wand for you, what is it? And most of them will say, I just want to show up and talk. I just want to show up, do what I do best and talk. I don't want to be messing around with all these other things, right? That's a necessary evil, but we make it simplified for them. So jobs to be done. It's a huge transformation or the small steps before. Is it a huge transformation or the small steps before? The jobs to be done is a realization of what you're truly solving. So the steps leading up to it is their frustration. Does that make sense? So it's really about what do you truly solve, not what you do. And that's where the job, when I talk about job, is there. Even when I was truly trying to understand it, was what is the job? The job is, well, I do marketing or I do copywriting or something. That's not what we do. Do is what relief. It's the outcome. Job as well. I do marketing. So I don't know if that makes any sense. If copywriting or something, you need a little bit more clarity on that one, Glenn. But I want to be able to. I want to make sure that I'm job as well articulating this right thing. That makes any sense. So here's another couple of questions you can ask. What were they doing before they found you? Was it do it yourself? Was it a different solution? Was it nothing? And what almost helped them from working with you or stopped them from working with you? And how do they measure success? Not just functional outcome, but how do they feel? And this is a big one. When I'm coaching clients, they say, well, and I ask them, what's the outcome? How do the outcome might be more sales or whatever. I'm just going to use that one. And I'm saying, great, but how does that make them feel? What goes on? And I ask them, so if I go back to the roofing example, when I get my roof fixed and the hole is patched, and now I can watch Netflix without getting rained on, I'm relieved, right? That's what I'm feeling. I'm not worried about my whole living room is going to get soaked and I have to replace furniture and rugs and all these other things. It's like, I'm relieved, I'm calm, I'm happy. So there's an outcome and a feeling for every job that we're doing in our business. So that's it. So there you go. So this is basically a job to be done that finishes off your entire marketing message, and it lives inside the dream client canvas. It lives right up here, and it's the most important thing if you can get this right. You could definitely market without it. Almost 99% of everybody markets without this because the job, it's hard to understand what the job is. And the only way you're going to find what that job is by having conversations with your clients. Okay. So if you want all of this, the jobs to be done worksheet, just DM JTBD, and I will putting together the whole Google Doc with all 7 episodes and all the cheat notes and all that stuff, the stuff that I've even been coaching from, and give it all to you. So if you want that, and it'll help you to understand how to put the client canvas together for you. Thank you so much for watching me for these 7 weeks for this little series. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but it's always fun how to be here Tuesday nights with you. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Joey Ragona. Thank you so much. And wow, Merry Christmas. We're getting into Merry Christmas and Happy New Year territory. So there you go. The holidays are here, but we will see you next week. Take care. And Merry Christmas.